What's up YouTube, Day Heavens F4 Games, bringing you my Twilightsworn deck profile. Now there's still a few things, little things that need sharpening up and tweaking, but obviously some of the cards in here are also down to personal preference. When I get to those cards, I'll talk about you why I'm using these ratios and just kind of why the build is the way it is. Without further ado, let's crack on. So we'll start off with the new kind of boss card, which is Punishment Dragon. So I played two Punishment Dragon. He's the JD, he's the dark version of JD, which is really cool, but he shuffles in the graveyard, but it's a quick effect as well. You pay 1,000 life points, it shuffles back the graveyard. And he works really well, especially when you then have the ability to go into JD, nuke the board, and then have the ability to get Punishment Dragon out as well. So it's absolutely brutal. And there you go, we could play two JD as well, purely for the board nukes. Such a strong card. You don't want to be like sitting on these guys. Like, opening them up is fine as long as you've got enough fodder to kind of get them out in a turn. But yeah, the reason we play 2 and 2 is we don't want to have, I think 4 kind of works nicely as this ratio for me. I then play a double Lumina Twilightsworn Shaman. So this is one of the new cards as well. It's exactly like the light Lumina, but basically banishes instead. So once per turn you banish one Lightsworn monster from your hand or graveyard, then target one of your banished Lightsworn monsters except Lumina and special summon it. Once per turn, if your other Lightsworn monster's effect is activated, send the top 3 cards of the deck to the graveyard. So this combos off massively well with its counterpart, which I am playing 3 of at this moment in time, and that's triple Lumina Lightsworn Summoner. So what I mean by that is, if you normal summon out Lumina, use her effect to already have a Lightsworn in grave, obviously. Use her effect to pitch the other Lumina, bring that Lumina back. That Lumina will then banish the other Lightsworn in grave, pitching that out, bringing it around. It just cycles around so nicely, as long as you've got the targets there to go. Next up, I play double Lila Twilightsworn Enchantress. Now, the reason I'm playing double, obviously, is for dark targets, for a couple of other cards in the deck, but also the fact that it's a quick effect. You banish one Lightsworn monster from your hand or graveyard, then target one face-up spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. And then once per turn, if another Lightsworn monster's effect is activated, you mill the top 3 cards to the graveyard. So you're kind of giving the fodder there for the effects to go off. And it's purely, you know, not always going to be relevant, but the effect is still quite good, the fact that it's a quick effect. And then counterpart to that, I am playing the one Lila Lightsworn Sorceress, again for her effect and another name for both JD and Punishment. Okay, now onto the cards that we haven't got counterpart. Well, we do have counterparts for this guy, but we don't play it. Is 2 Raikou Twilightsworn Fighter. Now, I am tempted to put this up to 3, but the only issue with putting them up to 3 is it could get a bit cloggy. Basically, if this card is normal or flip face up, you can banish one Lightsworn monster from your hand or graveyard and then banish one card on the field, non-targeting. That is awesome as hell. And then you send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Yes, the downside is obviously he's a level 2, and he's more there for the dark fodder, but the effect is still really good. And then we play triple Raiden Hand of the Lightsworn. Again, this can probably be played at 2. I have seen a couple of builds playing it at 2, but I think 3 is enough because he is one of your main cards that you kind of want to use to mill, gain the effect, gain attack, and then obviously the mill is kind of the nice help push for game, or help push for your board. Then we play triple Wolf, the Lightsworn Beast. Obviously, he is a pain in the ass to open up into, but you do have the ability to pitch him more often. And then obviously, I do play Goblinberg as well, so you have the ability to bring him out. Rounding up the Lightsworns, we played the one Felice Lightsworn Archer, again purely because its effect is so specific that it's when it's milled by a monster's effect. But the tribute effect is still also very good for Felice, so don't cut her out completely. Okay, now onto the non-Lightsworn cards. We play triple Blackwing Gofu. It's unfortunate to say, but he's just so good in the ability that he can make it so much easier to get to a Firewall Dragon, or make it so much easier, like just a 1-card Deco Talker. You kind of have to play him while we've got him. The other bonus in this deck as well is the other Gofus are never really dead Gofus, because again you have the ability to pitch them, and you also have the ability to use the dead Gofus as a lure target, so you don't have to worry about wasting the rest of the cards. Again, some of the cards like to be in the banish zone, but that's completely why you play triple Gofu. It's just too strong, unfortunately. Pick up the commons. The commons are still really, really cheap, because the chances are Gofu will get hit by the start of September, middle of September, when we get that next ban list. Triple Fairy Tale Snow. Now, I have seen a lot of people play this at 2. In my past experience with Lightsworns, it's just too strong at 3. Like, so many people worry about it when it's in the grave, and the amount of times that I milled it and it won me games, it was just too damn good to not play at 3. I played the one Goblin Berg to help unbrick my hands, obviously with Felices and Wolves and stuff like that, and he's a Rhoda Searcher as well. One Electromagnetic Turtle, again with the million, it's quite nice to have a a battle negator in the graveyard. It can help save you so many times. The one Trick Clown, again you can play the Brilliant Fusion engine. The deck's already quite tight as it is. I'm testing it out this way. Obviously the Brilliant Fusion is always an option for me, and will always be an option in the deck. I just don't want to be playing like Garnets and the other cloggier stuff that it probably isn't needed, like in the actual deck, doesn't help the deck out, but at the end of the day could end up pushing your game forward. And then lastly, purely because we can, and you don't have to play this card, it's just more for nostalgia and the ability that we get to play it, and that is the one Black Luster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. We have so many dark targets that want to be banished. We have loads of light targets. Black Luster Soldier, it's just a nice little beater to get on board. And I mean, can you just imagine the ability of going JD, nuke the board, bring out a Punishment Dragon, or even maybe be one short of Punishment Dragon, activate BLS, bring BLS onto the board, be allowed to attack for 3k, and then bring out a Punishment Dragon. That's 9k, that's game there already. And that's not including any snows that you might have in grave, so it's well in the realms of OTKs. So that's it for the monster lineup. Like I said, some of the cards you can change yourself. Like BLS is my just a little touch that I like putting in because it's viable in this deck. You don't have to play it; it's just nice to do so. Now onto the spells. Triple Allure of Darkness and triple Solar Recharge. You have now more targets for Solar Recharge. Allure of Darkness is still incredibly strong in this deck now because we have the dark targets, and like I said, Gofu can then become the easy fodder choice. The draw power is ridiculous. Not to mention you then have more mill power with double charge of Light Brigade and double march of the Dark Brigade. Love the artwork of Dark Brigade, absolutely amazing, which is why it's the LLDS mat. So beautiful. And the effect is target one Lightsworn monster in your graveyard that has a level, add it to your hand, then banish a number of cards from the top of your deck equal to the original level of that monster in your hand. You can only activate one march per turn, so it's incredibly strong, really good card, and highly advise playing it at 2, if not at 3 if you want to. And then wrapping it up, we play the one Rhoda because we can search out the Goblin Berg or the Raiden, pretty much whichever one we want. Foolish Burial to get Wolf Engrave and get your combos going, and then Soul Charge because Soul Charge can actually be really helpful in Link should you not open up with the Gofus or anything like that. So that's it for the main deck. Now on to the extra deck, and straight off the bat, you're playing the standard Gofu combo, which is the 2 Link Spiders and the 1 Deco Talker. Now I have put in a couple of other cards just for, I will explain as I go. So we've got 1 Ib, the World Chalice Priestess, and the reason you put Ib in there is Ib has the ability to protect whatever it's linked to. So you could technically go Gofu, make 1 Link Spider and put it in your zone, then use Gofu or the token with another normal monster you summon, and go into Ib. So Ib is then connected by Link Spider, and Ib provides you 2 spaces for protection of maybe your Minervas or any other kind of monsters you want to bring out. And then obviously that leads you into Firewall Dragon. Instead of going into Ib as well if you want, or instead of going to Deco Talker, you could do the Gofu combo and then normal summon a monster, use Raiden's effect, let's say, mill a couple of cards or whatever, and then go into Firewall as well. So Lightsworns naturally have the ability to kind of make the Link monsters because they can flood the board with the requirements for these monsters. Gofu just helps push that a little bit forward, and then I'm testing out Ib for a different variety to try and see what she can bring to the deck, and obviously Firewall is just incredibly strong. It helps kind of obviously unblock your hand as well, so it's just an option there for you guys. Then the Synchros, we play the 1 Michael and the 1 Black Rose because they are level 7s, and then the 1 Omega because it is busted as hell in Link. The fact that you just go extra monster zone, banished, pitch 1 from your hand, and then it's come back into a main monster zone is incredibly helpful. Now to the XYZs, we play Bujinte Tsukiyomi to unclog your hands. A Tornado Dragon, which you don't have to play. This can be down to whatever rank 4 you would like to play, because obviously we have the Lilas, but Tornado Dragon is still very, very cool, and it can help bait out a strike, or you're going to be hitting the strikes, stuff like that. Daigusto Emerald, again, to cycle back your graveyard if you are in danger, but obviously Punishment Dragon can do that for you as well. And then we've got double Minerva, because it is still incredibly strong, and, you know, it's very rare that you'll have both Minervas on the board at the same time, but it's more common to be able to go into 2 as well. Once one's gone, go into a second one. And then we play the 1 Leviair and the 1 Dante. Obviously Dante for the mill and Leviair to revive the extra decks, your banished monsters that you're going to be putting there with BLS and your Twilightsworns. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this gives you kind of like an idea on the Twilightsworn engine and mixing it with the Lightsworns and just how they kind of work. Like, they're beautiful cards. You know, it's always fun to kind of play with this deck and see where this deck can go. So yeah, if you do have any suggestions or any kind of comments regarding the deck, then please let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking to improve the deck. Sometimes there's stuff people see that I don't because they look at it from a different angle, and I'm always appreciative of constructive feedback. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. We will be doing a test hand for this deck so you can see the consistency of it. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner.